Students of Standard 9th. Today we are going to start with a new chapter, Chemical Change and Chemical Reactions. Before explaining you the chapter, let me tell you what is a physical and a chemical change. Now, matter may undergo certain changes as a result of application of energy. Like, we know rivers may freeze in winter, glaciers may also melt in summer. Candle burns to give light, heat, water vapor and carbon dioxide. Another example I will give you, hydrogen burns in air to form water. So these are different changes that matter undergoes. Let us classify all these changes broadly as physical and chemical change. Now, let me explain you what is a physical change. A change in which there is no change in the chemical composition of a substance, no new substance is formed, no energy is either absorbed nor evolved. A change which is reversible is called as a physical change. I have cited some examples. Please go through those examples. First one, dissolving sugar in water is a physical change. Why? Because no new substance is formed on evaporating the water, we obtain sugar back. That is what is called as a physical change. Second, glowing of electric bulb. Now, here also no new substance is formed. Magnetization of iron rod. Magnetizing an iron rod is also physical change. Once the magnetism is disconnected, now again the iron rod is as an iron rod itself. Next. What is a chemical change? A change in which new substance is formed. A change in which the composition of the substance is altered. A change which is irreversible, a change in which energy is either absorbed or evolved is called as a chemical change. Now here also some examples are cited. You can go through. Burning of wood is a chemical change because it burns, wood burns and ash is left behind. Now concentrated sulfuric acid is added to sugar crystals. Again, what do you find? Here, when concentrated sulfuric acid is added to sugar, it chars, becomes a black mass of sugar charcoal. Because the acid removes all the hydrogen and oxygen from the sugar and it absorbs it. Now, one more example is also given there, action of sodium on cold water. A small piece of sodium is added to a beaker containing cold water. Now first you will observe that it darts on the surface of water. Darting means moving about. With a hissing sound produces a colorless gas, hydrogen. Now this turns red litmus blue. It burns with a golden yellow flame and you can see how vigorous the reaction is. So it undergoes vigorous reaction. So these changes are called as chemical changes. Next, let us go through some examples of physical and chemical changes. Burning of wood, souring of milk, mixing acid and base, digestion of food, cooking an egg, heating sugar to form caramel, baking a cake, rusting of iron are called as chemical changes. Here new substances are formed and these changes are irreversible. Some examples of physical changes: crushing a can, melting an ice cube, boiling water, mixing sand and water, breaking of glass, dissolving sugar in water. These are all physical changes because these are reversible changes and here no new substance is formed. Now let us differentiate between physical and chemical change. A physical change is a change in which the actual composition remains the same. Chemical composition does not change. Chemical change, the molecular composition of the substance completely changes and a new substance is formed. Physical change is reversible, chemical change is irreversible. During a physical change, no new substance is formed. During a chemical change, new substances are formed. Physical change is a temporary change, chemical change is a permanent change. No energy is produced during a physical change. A lot of energy is produced in the form, maybe in the form of heat, light, sound, etc. Now, during a physical change, no energy is either absorbed nor evolved, but during a chemical change, energy is either absorbed or evolved. Next, what is a chemical reaction? Let's see what a chemical reaction is. When one or more substances, maybe compounds or elements, whenever they undergo a chemical reaction, a chemical change with absorption of heat energy or light energy or sound energy or liberation of any sort of energy to form one or more new products is called as a chemical reaction. Now, let us see, there are different energy changes during a chemical reaction. They are exothermic or endothermic reactions. What is exothermic? Chemical reactions which proceed with evolution of heat energy. Wherever heat energy is evolved, that is called as exothermic reaction. This is possible when energy is required to break the bonds of the reactants, and leads to the formation of new bonds. For example, carbon burns in air to form carbon dioxide. Nitrogen burns in the presence of hydrogen to form ammonia. These are called as exothermic changes or reactions. Now, what are endothermic reactions? Chemical reactions which proceed with the absorption of heat energy is called endothermic. Amount of heat energy is absorbed. Nitrogen burns in air to form nitric oxide. Mercuric oxide heated, it forms mercury, and oxygen gas is liberated. These are some of the endothermic reactions. Next, types of chemical reactions. These are of different types. Direct combination or synthesis reaction, decomposition reaction, displacement reaction, double decomposition reaction, catalytic reaction, reversible reaction, thermal dissociation reaction. Now, these are different types of reactions, chemical reactions. We'll read each and every chemical reaction in the next part, that is part 2. Thank you.